Hello everybody, this is my 3-month review of the QIDI Plus 4 3D printer. I think right off the bat one of the things you notice is that this is a big printer. It's finished in this silver metallic kind of finish and it looks very aesthetically pleasing with the curved edges. And this large glass panel that you can take off and the large glass door that encloses the printer, which helps with the 3D prints but also gives you a clear line of sight so you can see what's being printed. So when you first take it out of the box, you've got these two handles on the side here because it is a heavy printer. And as I mentioned earlier, you can remove the glass panel. So this is a large printer. It has a print volume of 30.5 centimeters, both width and length, and a height of 28 centimeters. So it has a huge print bed for those kind of big projects if that's what you want to work with. So if we take a little look here at the user interface, you have the stop button here, a Wi-Fi internet connection, an interior light here that you can switch on and off like so. You have just the temperature of your extruder, your heat bed and your chamber, so the whole of the inside. Now when we flick across to the controls, you can see here in a bit more detail, again you have the temperature, but this time you can set the temperature of each one of those things, the extruder, the heat bed and the chamber, and the temperature that it goes up to is on the screen. You have your auxiliary fans here that you can switch on and off, your replace filament, your load filament options, and just a few extra settings. So when you first flick over to your documents section on your local bit, this is anything you've just printed on your printer or anything that's pre-installed on your printer, such as the Benji or little boxes. And your USB section here, it slots into the back of the printer here, and this is anything that you want to print offline, so if you're not using QIDI Studio. On the tools section, these are your calibration settings, your auto bed leveling, input shaping and stuff like this. And then on your settings you have your languages, system, messages, any updates. I couldn't show you the network because of the IP address. So as you can see from the back, your filament holder just slots on the back there, and your filament spool just goes onto it, and you thread the filament through this little plastic bit out the side, and it goes right through, all the way through, as you can see, down into the extruder and the main bit there. So in order to show you this in more detail, I'm just going to pop the glass off and I'm just going to remove this little plastic bit on the front here. And as you can see, it just slops right off. It's just held together by these little magnets on the inside there. So this is kind of what it looks like with the front cover off. I'm going to show you in a bit more detail, because one of the only things I actually had a problem with when I first got the printer was that when I was trying to load the filament, it wouldn't go through this little hatch here. So normally it goes down through the tube and it will go through here and you can feel it kind of click in, whereas when I first got the printer, for some reason it wasn't doing that properly. But I do have to admit, I've not had any real problems with anything since this kind of thing. So when you want to replace the filament, so this is what I'm showing here, the printer will go through a set of calibration kind of tests or steps before it returns the filament to you. So there's a whole sequence it does at the back here. It will snip off a little bit of the filament at the end of the extruder and shoot it out the back. So I'm going to show you kind of what happens. So as you can see here, what it does is it heats up to the temperature that you've got it preset at, and then the machine will just go through a process of purging any filament left on the side here, like you can see, and it will spit any filament out the back, out the poop chute, and then you can just simply roll up your filament and it will come back up through the plastic tube, as you can see. So just a really quick thing I noticed is when you actually put in this plastic lid back on, this little wire here, you have to tuck it around this little magnet bit here, because I had a bit of problems putting it back on at the start, and then it was simply just, you lift it up and then click it down and it will go back on really easily, but I just thought I'd quickly show you that. So just again very quickly, I've shown you how to replace the filament, and now just loading it again is just as simple. You have to just click load, it will heat up to the desired temperature, and then it will ask you to push the filament just through the little tube. So you just keep pushing it and you will see parts of it come out from the extruder, and then it will snip it off just as shown on the video there. So in terms of filament, I think kind of like anybody who first gets a 3D printer, I went a little bit mad with all the filaments I chose. So I chose this really nice PLA carbon fiber. I've got two of these, one of the blue one on the right there. I also chose the PLA Rapido one. I ordered those in multiple colours, but I'm not a huge fan. and I ordered some from Amazon, the eSun in black and white, which are really good. So yeah, I think personally with the PLA carbon fibre, I feel like the colour selection's a lot better, and I've found myself the kind of 3D printing I do and with the HueForge style and stuff, I found it looks a lot better. Whereas this PLA Rapido one, personally I don't think the colours look the same as what they do on a spool. Like the colours are really bright and nice, whereas I feel like when you layer in different filament colours on top of each other, I feel like the colours just don't quite hold as well as the carbon fibre does. And again, it might seem like just a small thing, but even the filament holder or spool itself, the fact that this one here is separated so it kind of just nicely goes through like this, it doesn't bend it, whereas, you know, the PLA Rapido one, look at that, it's fucking bent directly in half, and it forces you to like snip off a bit every single time you want to take it out, because it's just, you know, it's just too bent basically. So now I'm going to show you some of the actual 3D prints I've been doing lately. So this was this one here that you're going to see was a wedding gift. So I made a wedding ring kind of holder here. So I designed this, and I'm going to probably make a video and show you how exactly I designed this, but I did the 3D model for this, and I had to change all the settings to make it extra thin, which again I might show on a separate video. But these are just some of the things that I've kind of done with the printer recently, so maybe you guys let me know if it's anything you'd like to see, or you want me to make a video and show the process of kind of creating some of these things, because some people are interested in that kind of thing. So this top bit was like the main 3D model kind of thing, and then I also did a very print thin of the actual bride and groom and stuck it on the top like so, and that was the finished product. And what I've been doing as well, I've been making a lot of like magnets for local businesses. So this was a local pub, and I took their kind of mascot, and I merged it with, you know, HueForge style with the 3D printing, and I also made some of the forest magnets for some of the football fans in the local area. And I also went out there to try and flog some magnets before the game. And another little thing I made here, which I just show very quickly the process here on Tinkercad. I made a plant holder for my bonsai tree, so I could water it, and you know, it would just kind of fall through into a little box, and this is kind of the process of making it here, and I'm actually really happy with the way it turned out. So I put it on like times 100 here just to speed through, but that's pretty much what it looks like when it was done, and you know, I'm really happy with that. So I can show you, you know, exactly how you design this kind of stuff in case you are interested in 3D printing or you'd like to do something like this yourself, and just let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. I think all in all, I'm very happy with the way this printer's turned out so far. I'm still waiting for them to bring out this AMS system for the multicolored printing, but you know, if you'd like to see anything more specific, just let me know, and thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.